whereas others exaggerate their intelligence out of a sense of superiority and self-righteousness. INFJs have the ability to discreetly challenge the reasoning of others in a conversation while remaining calm. They are strangely smart because of this. Here are 10 odd intellectual traits that INFJs exhibit. 10. They have a strong sense of who they are. INFJs are self-aware people who know what they need from their social relationships and don't get lost in the sea of temptations and diversions. They continue to focus on their uniqueness and internal resources. Their perception of their core values, capacities, personality traits, primary desires, life objectives, and other attributes affects how people feel about themselves. High levels of intellect are indicated by the INFJ's highly developed sense of self, since a strong sense of self helps them to feel confident in who they are, make judgments with confidence that are reflective of their values, and are aware of their areas of strength. How does your strong sense of self affect your life as an INFJ? 9. They always seek out new information. Their displeasure with straightforward explanations and cursory responses is another peculiar indicator of intellect INFJs exhibit. People may find the INFJ's constant need to learn and become more aware offensive or impressive. It prompts individuals to challenge established societal norms and structures that most people typically follow for decades or centuries. They question everyone's reasoning and go further into the foundations of it rather than just accepting it. They also like learning about various cultures and languages, as well as weird art. They are able to get to the heart of a problem because they ask insightful inquiries. And with their capacity to probe into the thoughts of those on the internet, they may discover new passions and disassemble objects to see how they all function. 8. They pay attention and retain. Some people may seem as intellectual because they aren't afraid to express their opinions, even though they are incorrect and irrational. Whether or if they make sense, all that matters to them is sounding and seeming educated. INFJs, however, are keen observers. They are able to pick up on people's discrepancies because they have a strong recall for the words they hear and read. They have a deep grasp of nature, which enables them to detect changes in their surroundings swiftly. Since they have an eye for patterns, their observations are also reflected in their creativity. They are so frequently complimented for their precision and sensitivity. Because of the behavioral patterns they've seen over a predetermined period of time, they are perfectly aware of how a person feels and thinks. Are you also commended for your keen observation? 7. They prefer isolation over anything else. Because INFJs benefit from being alone and find happiness, serenity, and comfort there. They require some alone time to rest and refuel. They have the capacity to endure extended durations of solitude. No external stimulus, no noise, and no distractions. Their spirit is at ease with them, considering that they have spent more time than anybody else connecting with their inner selves. And few people are aware that an INFJ's capacity to feel content in their own company signals intellect and genius. They ignite in their own light and stillness. INFJs don't feel the acute unhappiness that other clever individuals do in their friendships, careers, and sexual relationships. They respect and prioritize their relationship with themselves above anything else, allowing their social interactions to overflow with kindness. They have more time for introspective thinking, following their hobbies, and setting priorities since they spend less time socializing. And by taking care of themselves, they will be able to appreciate their time with loved ones even more. 6. They do not believe they are intelligent. The undervalued indicator of intellect is humility. Conversely, persons who lack information and competence frequently overestimate their mental abilities. INFJs are clever people who are far more aware of their limitations than other types of people. Infer that they are more likely to be surrounded by individuals who are brighter, more experienced, and wiser than they are, allowing them to benefit from others' knowledge every day. Because of this behavior, they become more eager to gain experience, which increases their intelligence. Additionally, they take issue with others who affirm their intelligence and commend their prowess in the classroom or at business. INFJs only recognize their flaws, leading them to believe that they haven't yet met their standards. Are you an INFJ who doubts that you are the most intelligent person in the MBTI? 5. They fret about issues that others don't. INFJs might prepare for the likelihood of something unpleasant or harmful by worrying. It prepares them mentally and physically for a scenario that might occur at any time. INFJs are better prepared than anyone else because of this. They spend a lot of time worrying about things that are unnoticed or unimportant to most others. They were able to avoid negative outcomes because of the indications they saw that other individuals didn't see because of their intuition. Simply put, INFJs always worry because they are well versed in potential risks and feel the need to be ready for everything. With that, they make an attempt to come up with strategies for handling the circumstance and other means of avoiding conflict. 4. They can maintain composure in heated debates. When a buddy or coworker utters rubbish during a chat, greatly inciting unpleasant feelings, only the INFJ is capable of maintaining composure. They hold the opinion that these discussions can never be won since all crazy people care about is hurting and demeaning their adversaries. Some individuals only want to dispute and get their anger out. They don't want to discover answers. INFJs don't find it difficult to take a passive role when dealing with such individuals since they have learned the skill of doing so, watching while someone else uses their hatred to poison themselves. They find little use in initially focusing on the topic if they can tell that they cannot influence the other person's viewpoint. And certainly, this is just another indication of INFJ's brilliance that most people ignore. Have you ever fallen to your opponent's level as an INFJ? 3. They have internal dialogue. Some individuals find it strange and humiliating when they talk to themselves. But this is yet another odd indication of the intelligence INFs display on a regular basis. They are able to exert greater control over their own ideas and behaviors thanks to their deep self-knowledge. So they tend to act recklessly, behave irrationally, and make poor judgments last. Talking to oneself helps people maintain control and awareness, which helps them consistently regulate their urges. When life challenges their patience, they engage in intense introspection to choose how to respond and flourish in certain circumstances. Unquestionably, this helps individuals become more emotionally and rationally mature. Therefore, this is not evidence that INFJs are insane. On the contrary. 2. They are quick to acknowledge their errors. INFJ's remarkable capacity for self-ribbing, self-mocking, and self-laughter for all the heinous crimes they have perpetrated is another indication of their unusual intellect. Yes, they don't hesitate to admit they are flawed. To better understand others who are struggling than they are, they even include them in their gloomy humor. They accept their weaknesses in a constructive way because they understand that these lessons might help them learn better things that will bring them sweeter benefits in the future. When someone points out their inconsistencies, INFJs won't ever feel attacked, humiliated, or ashamed. There are some personality types that apologize right away, accept responsibility, and express gratitude to those who corrected them. Do others value your honesty and responsibility as an INFJ? 1. They are tolerant. Despite their skills and experience, INFJs constantly feel that they have more to understand and learn about. For the INFJ, there is no such thing as speaking experience since they are constantly seeking for new perspectives and astounding insights. This increases their interest in different viewpoints, even though these opinions tend to skew toward the more orthodox side. INFJs still want to get to know them. They probe into the origins of their thinking with inquisitive and probing questions. INFJs are open to new ideas and creative approaches, even if they also have their own opinions. They won't reject novel ideas merely because they conflict with their current beliefs and methods. Most people ignore these peculiar indications of brilliance that INFJs exhibit, and frequently brush them off as nonsense and idiocy. They are unaware, however, that INFJs are the most bright, perceptive, and distinct from others because to their abilities. How do you as an INFJ show off your intelligence on a daily basis? Do you recognize these symptoms?